love! Welcome home to Eden. How to become a king. This is Eve Christoph, your Love Life Muse, and you can subscribe to this channel on YouTube, Eve Christoph's channel. Follow me on Facebook, Love Life with Eve. So let's see, how do you become a king? What is this really about? Without any inheritance, you can become your king self. So let's look at the 4 stages that 5 stages that take you there. So you start out as a little boy, and the boy is looking forward to everything he can do in the world. Oh my God, he wants to be a teenager so bad. He wants to drive the car, he wants to drive the truck, he wants to run the race, he wants to row the boat, he wants to cook the food himself by the fire, he's so gung-ho. And eventually he becomes the teenager, and he can do so. And now he is the adventurer, and he needs his freedom to just totally get into those powers of all of his different abilities, and he's an adventurer. Now, next phase starts to happen when in the adventure he discovers skills, things that he can do, that he loves to do, that are his best abilities, and he develops them and starts getting paid for them. Ooh, now we're talking power, freedom, prestige. He's like, his eyes are glowing, he's beginning, and he starts dedicating himself to his skills, his skill set, and he starts going for more and more skills until he rounds it down to whatever is most important, most exciting to him, where he makes the most impact, the most money, whatever it is that draws him into his biggest soul path, skill, career path. And he goes into this with a lot of dedication, and eventually he is a prince. He really is. He's a prince because he has a life work that is making money, and it is supporting himself very well. And he says, okay, I want to have a wife and a kids, and he's got it all planned out, and he gets married, and now he's even more about his work, because he's like, I've got to support this crew, and I've got a way to do it, and I'm so powerful. And this is all very well, except for it goes on and on and on. And most men never make it out of the prince stage unless they finally get to the abyss. And the abyss, then they'll die in the abyss in old age. They'll end their lives before getting to become a king, which is on the other side of the abyss. Okay, or they'll just spend their whole lives as a prince. Work, 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 work. And when they're working so much, they're actually become workaholics, where the women in their lives are unhappy. Their women are not really the priority. They think, why does she need so much? I'm taking care of her. And the children are, everybody's a priority. I'm working for them. And the family becomes the excuse for his workaholism, because he can say, see, I'm supporting them. I need to do this. There's nothing else I can do. But really, the real reason he's a workaholic is because it's about his own materialism and his self-aggrandizement and the illusion of power with big toys and these kind of things that are actually empty. So his work is empty at the center. Now, for most men, this becomes apparent at some point. They really do come to feel this so acutely that they do enter the abyss. And in the abyss, everything's meaningless. The whole work, everything they've created, even the home they own, the family, everything just seems useless, empty, without meaning. They don't understand, why didn't it give them more happiness, more power, more freedom? Why was it so without this primary thing at the center that would have given them more? And they don't even know what to do, so they give up. They give up their work. Sometimes they'll quit, and they'll go into depression, or maybe they buy that red Ferrari to try to gear it up again. And whatever happens in the abyss, it either just becomes a long bottomless pit of despair and unknowing and disappointment, Or the man starts to turn around and face himself. What do I love? What do I value? What is missing? What about nature? What about woman? What about love? What about family? I've missed out on my children growing up. So how can you be a man who becomes a king earlier in your life? Because most men never make it to king, and they spend their whole lives as the prince. But when the prince walks through the abyss, looking at himself, looking at his disappointments and the desires and all the things that the women around him have been asking him to participate in, now he starts to become dedicated to his heart, his soul, his spirit, his self-love on a whole new level. And what he does is so fascinating, because he starts to integrate his work with love at the center. He puts love and relationship comes right after work. So love is at the center of his work. It has a whole new meaning. Like what he's doing takes on a dimension that's more about service of the divine and his own soul, and how he does his work starts to include his body and his meditation and his freedom and his joy with his family. But right after that comes love with woman and love with children. So now everything they've been asking for all these years, like, why can't you integrate us as a high priority? Now he is integrating them. And instead of having right after his work the priority of rest, drugs, recreational, hanging with guys, blah, 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 which when you put him as a workaholic and then he has those priorities, he's lost the love of his woman, he's lost his family. They're just hanging out because he's supporting them, and they don't really have enough connection with him to feel actual love for him. So, but now what he does when he's a king is he realizes love really is the center of everything. So his woman is the first thing right after his work. I say after his work because men need their work. The prince, the king, they need their work as their identity, as their own sole purpose on the earth, separate from woman. But right after it comes love with her, and love with other women if they don't have a primary woman, love of womankind, love in general, and love of family. Now we're talking accessing your masculine superpower. Next video coming up, how to access your masculine superpower. Okay, much love, love life. Subscribe to this channel. Mwah.